The Flight of the Earls Commission, talk to me about what was that?
Well, like, I heard about it when it was ready, but he was commissioned by the Donegal County Council for the 400th anniversary of the Flight of the Earls. It was a big production. It was an amazing night. So they had the chamber orchestra, the Irish Chamber Orchestra. You had a kind of a jazz trio to kind of express the Italian element. So our part was at the beginning, so it was when they were leaving Donegal and heading south. And the first tune, can you remember the name? The march?
The March to Kinsale? The
March to Kinsale. So like he had references in that of, is it da da dum da dum deedle dum dum dum? There's elements of that because he wanted to acknowledge that in the tune from being of the time. Then you had the song that actually my sister sang it on the night, and then into a reel in E, which was to express the delight of actually getting off the island of Ireland alive. Joe Naughton and myself were to play with him, so we got cassette tapes in the post of the whole thing. And I remember meeting Joe. We had to go up for a rehearsal the night before. And I said, Joe, were you able to learn the march? And he goes, no. Because first of all, he didn't count it in. He just started playing. And then you had the references to the other tunes. So you'd have the da, 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 but it mightn't be at the end of something. So you're trying to put bar lines on what you were hearing. So it was like there's 3 parts. Each part had, I'm not sure if it was 8 or 16 bars maybe, repeated with different endings. So it's in itself, it's a mammoth of a tune. Like it's and incredibly hard to learn off very quickly, which we had to that night, but we pulled it off, it seems. But it's when you learn it, it's like his tunes. I hear his tunes and I go, oh my God, it's so complicated. It's like, does it have to be so complicated? And then you learn them and you go, oh my God, this is just, I love playing this. You know, so he had a way of writing music. Maybe it was for fiddles, I don't know. That when you actually engaged with it physically with an instrument, it took on a whole different meaning. And once you kind of lost the fear of taking on these tunes, there's such a delight in playing them. And while they sound complicated, and they are complicated, they're very demanding. So like if you're trying to push your ability on a bit, I mean, they're incredible tunes to work with, you know, because it's not like the majority of Irish tunes which you learn off and you'll have them and you'll retain them. These ones you might have to go back and learn them more than once, you know.
Your dad goes up, plays this tune, and at that stage, at the very back of the hall, so there's 200 people between myself and the stage, and your dad's up there solo, playing this is the March to Kinsale, and all I could hear was 200 feet marching. So it was like, it just brought the whole thing to life for me, and it was like, he has done something that is impossible. He achieved something with that composition for me that I don't think, because to play through the tune twice takes near 3.5 minutes. So you could just imagine that, you know, somebody teaches them the tune in Donegal, they'd have it by the time they're down in Longford, and then they get another couple of counties out of it before they're bored of it.
Yeah, it's an incredible piece of music, and I actually had the same experience with him down in Ballyferriter. You know, that hall, they have the concert in, and it was the same thing. And it was just all that feat. And it's incredible, particularly when it's unaccompanied. I just think the whole foot tap and the tune itself. So it's almost like the audience are part of the tune, if you know what I mean.
It's visceral.
Yeah, and that could certainly very well have been an intention of his. You know, I wouldn't put that past him.